ocean of oceans, deep blue, the ocean, and I also have with me the snoring little emperor here, Cowboy the Manx, who some of you know and love, my Lyran assistant. Actually, it's his show. I'm just the spokesperson and pay for everything. What are humans for? Anyway, but it's a little emperor show. Okay. Emperor. So tonight, I didn't get on Monday. I had some stuff going on. So I thought tonight we'll do the card reads or something like that. And March is coming up, and it's like gonna be a crazy month, okay? I mean, we've seen some crazy, but March, it's just gonna ramp up. I mean, this year, it's going to be like last year, but faster. And hey, it's just something you got to get used to. This is the way our lives are now. Hey, Wagon! I haven't seen you in ages. Where you been, girl? So, yeah. Oh, Chloe, hello, baby. It's the Countin' Countess. The Countin' Crystal Countess. Aw, I missed you. Hey, I missed y'all. Yeah, we're going to do some cards, and then we're going to do, or at least that's the plan. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Where are the cards? Oh, shit. Pardon me, but I could... Oh, God, this is so Mercury retrograde. Maybe we're not doing cards. Maybe I'm just talking about stuff. Maybe we're just having woo chat. What the heck? I could have sworn I saw my card deck right on my table here. I don't see it anywhere else. Cowboy, have you got my cards in your Catland down there in your... Okay, my, that's embarrassing. I don't even know where my other cards are now. Oh, God. Okay, well, sorry. No card readings tonight, then. Well, hello, Titania. Shimonkaya. How are you doing it? That's embarrassing. How, Cowboy? Look at him. He's so innocent. Not. If it somehow got knocked on the floor, it might be all the way in the back of the cat cave. With the milk rings and the bottle caps and the dust bunnies and the hair bands. You know, hair ties, they love those. I'm fine. Okay, well, I guess I'm just talking about some things that I'm noticing. Maybe we'll do a little astrology comparison today. Faith. Well, we gotta have a faith, the faith, the faith. We gotta have faith. Okay, so basically, we got all kinds of stuff going on, especially in this country. I mean, it's a never-ending clown car of weirdness lately, huh? And if you think it's going to change, it's not. It's going to be weirder and weirder and faster. So, hey, Scarlett. Hi. It's a weird energy. Okay, let me enumerate what's going on so we know the cosmic weather. Oh, God, the cosmic weather. Okay. First of all, we're in eclipse season. We just had an eclipse yesterday. Now, it's a full-blood supermoon, the worm moon. Now, the reason it's called the worm moon is because the little wormies are coming out of the ground. They're thawing. That's what's usually happening around this time. We're getting a thaw, and, then the worms start to come out of the ground. Meaning, life is returning to the northern areas. That's what it means, is nature is waking up. So, oh, hello, Jackson. And Walter Miller. I don't see any of either of those right now. My tablet is not working either. This is typical Mercury retrograde. So anyway, we got this moon thing going on. And it's happening in Pisces. So that means this is going to be emotional. Okay, there's going to be a lot emotional. Free I live. Okay. Well, so anyway, we've got emotional, watery Pisces, and we've got this full moon, which is a watery time, and things are exaggerated. And then we've got eclipse, which is like a door opening, like a gate opening, right? And the energy is released around an eclipse lasts for a long time. It's like, a new program started, a new phase of the program, or a new program, a new command input in the matrix, if you want to see it that way. So something is starting, something new is starting. This one has also been the end of something old for many, many people. Things are going to be ending or have ended. They're done. And so if you've had stuff end, it's right on time. Yep, that's the other thing. Now, on top of that, it's during a Mercury retrograde. What's a Mercury retrograde? Well, I do have that on a channel. On the channel, and it's under Who's Afraid of the Retrograde. Oh, really? It sounds like it was very beautiful, but here in Ohio it was too cloudy to see anything. But it sounds like some of you got to see it. Anyway, yeah. Yep. And then we had the parade of planets, exactly. We had a planetary alignment. It's just piling on. It's like, let's just pile stuff on. And people are wondering why they're a little windblown out there, right? Why am I feeling so windblown? Well, the wind is blowing. That's why. And the water is flowing. The water is flowing pretty heavy because when all this is happening in the sign of Pisces, it's going to be watery and probably emotional. So it is so much fun. We had better have our surfboards. Get your surfboard out because it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be quite a ride. And I see for basically all of the signs, the one, of course, Pisces is going to be very affected. All the water signs are going to be very affected, okay? All of the water signs. So if you're a Scorpio, a Pisces, what's the other? Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, wherever those are in your chart, yeah, you're going to be feeling the water, especially Pisces. And let's see. Then the fire signs, this is like the opposite of you. So the fire signs, which are Aries, Sagittarius, and what's the third one? Gosh, I always remember. Number 3. Oh dear. I hate when I have a brain fart like that. But if you're a fire sign, this is just the opposite of your energy. It might throw a wet blanket on some things, okay? If you are an earth sign, yeah, we're going to have some deep mud to wade through. Okay, I'm a Sagittarius who's an honorary. I got Saturn within 1 degree of my sun. So I'm kind of a Sag light. I'm 1/3 less serious than, I'm 1/3 less frivolous than most Sages and a little more serious because I got that Capricorn 1 degree my sun. So I'm almost a Capricorn. But, it's like, yeah, I'm feeling it. Every darn thing is going on. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling sad, just this, a lot of people are reporting this, I'm sad and I don't know why. I have some kind of like melancholy and I don't know why. Feel homesick, feel just sad for no reason, or I'm sleeping so much, I'm exhausted. Another symptom of that, I'm going over the past in my mind. That's another one. Well, that's typical. And especially since Mercury retrograde is going to bring you things about the past because it's the rerun season, okay? Retrogrades are reruns. Mercury retrograde, it's a reruns. Everything. Anything that starts with re. Like even rent. I had the rent portal giving me problems. I had to call several times to straighten it out. But it's like renew, repair. Repair is a big one. Whatever, redo lots and lots of things. That is the Mercury retrograde energy. Recreation, it's good for. If you need to repair something, it's a good time. If you need to return something, it's a great time for that. But is it time to start something new? Well, now here we go. The eclipse is pressing us to start something new anyway. When really, Mercury retrograde is not really the best time for that. So it means that down the way, things start to get a little wonky, will go a little wonky. That doesn't mean things are not going to work out. That just means it's going to be a little on the wonky side. Everything that starts. Can get you going, but yeah, it's been sludgy tired. Me too. But I've been like that for a while. But see, when you have the fibro thing, you really fight that. And you really fight the brain fog, which is another thing. I don't know if you're getting brain fog. When I get that, I have been really having to take good care of myself. I've been having to eat right, get enough rest, just watch everything, because otherwise I'll get me some brain fog, which is no good. You might find things swollen, or, because we're talking water. And we're entering into a time when I feel like we've got to be careful of water. There's going to be water incidents, water-related incidents coming from this. Because it's just the start of something. Because that's what eclipses do. So, check your water. Make sure that you get filtered. Get a decent filter. Or go buy distilled or something. Or, otherwise, check the water. And if you are near water, be prepared. You could have water events happening. Matter of fact, I think there are going to probably be some floods, probably, or maybe storms. We're getting into storm weather, thunderstorm weather, so that ought to be interesting. Yep, probably we're going to have rain. Is it going to be rain or snow? Yeah, at this point, some of it we don't know. Yeah, nights are going to be cold here. We're going to have warmer days, but still cold nights. And we've had really cold weather, and now that's kind of backing out. And we're getting warmer weather, but the nights are still freaking cold. However, I don't know if you saw, but the Canada geese are back already. Not only that, but I've got to find it, and I will post it. I have some footage of a tom turkey chasing around a female. Nothing says spring like mating rituals, right? So I'm going to look that up, and I'm going to upload it. We are in the midst of changing to spring, okay? It's time. Things are just, the signs are there. Really, F? I mean, Faith, you saw 2 black shadowed dogs go into 2 houses. 4-footed? while you were delivering. Really, Chloe? Wow, that's cool. So, obviously we've got strange things breaking out, and maybe that's the start of maybe what's starting for you is a kind of discernment. One of your gifts comes to the forefront. We've been told we're going to have that happening, that we're going to have our gifts coming in, new ones that we haven't known of before, that we haven't used before. Maybe that's what's going on for you this time. So I call him the Emperor right here. Has been doing nothing but sleep and eat. That's it. That's all he's been doing. Sleeping and eating. Getting belly rubs. Gotta give the Emperor his belly rubs. My little cowboy cat. There's my little boy. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. And he loves his belly rubbed. I could rub his belly for an hour and he'd be fine with it. He's different from a lot of cats. Anyway, so I am working on a Karen video for those of you who liked Scary Karen. I'm working on that. So, let's see what else is going to be going on. Probably I'm sorry. When I look at it, it looks like the crazies are going to get crazier. We're going to have some terror type events. I guess you know that there's been another attempt on Trump. That kind of madness is going to continue. They're not going to get him. We may not even hear about some of them. It's just matter of course right now, isn't it? It used to be a big thing, and now it's like, oh, are they trying to hit him again? Isn't that amazing? Here I go, when I was a kid, how about when you were a kid? Wouldn't it be like the weirdest thing? I mean, when I was a kid, definitely everybody was like in shock when Kennedy got it. But now, nobody's in shock anymore. It's no big shock. Oh yeah, that happens. Crazy people do that kind of thing. So, So the does, and that's not that strange that the does actually pick out who can join the herd or not. There's a lot of things are like that, where the males may be the bigger and rough and tough, but actually females make a lot of decisions. And they tell me that Native American society was like that for a long, long time. So we have that in lions too. Actually, they let the male stay with them. There'll be like 3 lionesses. They're the main hunters. They take care of a male so that he can watch the children while they're gone and help them bring down big prey. But actually, the females are the primary hunters. They're the ones that really do most of the work. Yeah, and the big bucks, the bigger males are usually the protectors. That's usually what males do. So, we have a place around here that's near an airport. People can't carry guns within a certain mileage of the airport. So our deer are healthy, and we saw some deer too around here, um, right, right in back of a store, right in back of a strip mall. We've got basically a nature park in back of a strip mall here. We've got a couple of them like that. We have a lot of places like that here. I live in a place that's right on the edge of country, and Ohio is just inter-threaded with parks. There's just parks everywhere. Like around me here, in any direction you go, within 15 minutes you're going to hit a park. You're going to hit open country of some sort or a park. You're either going to hit a farm or you're going to hit a park. So we have lots of wildlife. So we're going to see a lot of wildlife returning. They're coming back. We have the time change coming up. That's going to be fun and confuse everybody for a while. Here's the funny thing. Behind the strip mall, they're doing fine. There's basically a man-made pond back there, which is really just runoff. But they're doing fine. People are feeding them. The does are huge. I'll show you. I'll have to put some of the photos and some of the I'll have to put in some of the video, but they're big. We saw a young doe, and just, she was huge. I'm like, that's a big deer. And you could tell, though, she was young. So, they get huge. And then we see the turkeys. We have the wild turkeys. We saw the geese. So we had, we're like getting an animal park back there behind this strip mall. So, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid of people. And oddly enough, they're doing really well back there. Probably because people do feed them. And there's probably all kinds of produce and stuff um, that, I mean, places like that, there's a lot of produce and stuff thrown away. So who knows, that might even be part of the factor. I'm sure people are feeding them. Um, you know, it's just an ideal spot because it's a drop-off area. So all you ever get back there usually is, trucks dropping stuff off back there. And a few people sneaking back through there um, to get somewhere else. But it's really interesting. Hey, Luke. Hey, Lou. How you do? Um, what else do I think is going? Okay, what's coming up? By the way, I don't know if you've seen the Jim Carrey look-alike. Most of us, and by that I mean I wanted to see everybody else's take on it. And I haven't audited everybody's opinion. But in my opinion, Jim Carrey's gone. Jim Carrey is not, we're not seeing him. Whoever that was that showed up as Jim Carrey is not Jim Carrey. Actually, somebody even brought up that Jim Carrey even said he was leaving the public eye, and if we saw him in public again, it wasn't going to be him. That it wasn't him. He already warned us. It's not him. Now, is he gone, like past? Some people say he is, and some people say he isn't. I haven't gotten confirmation either way. Some people say no, but he is being held somewhere. Some people say no, but he's hiding out. And some people say no, he's gone. And they brought in the clones or the lookalikes, whichever you prefer. But that guy doesn't really look that much like him. Yeah, you can do a lot of things, but there's some things you just can't do. It's like when Biden suddenly became 6'4". No. The art of winning. Oh, cool. The art of the deal. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. He's mostly a deal maker. But when he does war, which isn't really war, we're not really at war per se, he is having some strategic military things happen, but hasn't declared war. So we're not at war. But he has done some but it's very surgical. Like, he's not the kind that goes, hey, we're going to pitch a war. Hey, how's that for an idea? We're going to pitch a war. It's going to make us rich. Like, some people say, oh, war is good for the economy. Bullshit. But, no, he's not like that. When he has to do something militarily, it's like a surgeon with a scalpel. And I have to say I approve. I don't want to get in any forever wars. And it looks like neither does he. But we kind of got our hand forced because of the way things were. It was either strike or get probably struck, because they were ramping up to it because, Iran and Israel, they got no sense. They just keep bombing each other regardless. There's nothing you can do about those two, it seems like. They don't care. They'll just drop bombs on each other or do shit. They're crazy people, really. I'm sorry. You can be mad if you want to. But I agree when Trump said they've been fighting so long they don't know what they're fucking doing. They really don't know. So, hi, Titania. Hi. So, basically it's like, I can't complain because with what's going on in the world today, we need a strong leader. Have to have it. Just necessary. Or we're going to get steamrolled. On the other hand, do I like all this military stuff? Not really. Of more importance to me personally, yeah, we're in a totally different position from the two last world wars. So, right now, probably I think it's a good thing that we have somebody who's willing to really take action and do it in a way that's going to end it. He's trying to end it, like make it so it can't go on, which I like. I like that attitude. Let's just fix them so they cannot do anything more. And especially that country should not have nukes. Especially not. I think everybody can agree that that particular country having nukes is one of the scariest notions. But not that they're not scary on their own. I don't see, by the way, I don't see WW, 3. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Not like the other ones were. There might be some kind of thing that slightly reminiscent, but it's not going to go like that. We're at a different time now. It's not going to be an all-out Civil War type thing, or all-out WW type thing. Now the civil unrest is something else. But, the kind of civil unrest we saw around like in Minnesota, it's not going to happen in places that aren't sanctuary cities, because it can't. Because if you're turning over people down at the courthouse or down at the jail or wherever that are incarcerated instead of letting them loose, then there's no reason for them to go out into the populace and chase people down out there. So basically, you're taking away a lot of the problems by doing that, by just being lawful and turning them over. People that are already convicted, come on, cooperate, and then you don't have these If they would have done that in the first place, there's a couple of people that would still be alive. But what they never talk about is the thousands of people that have gotten all kinds of misfortune at the hands of these criminals. And they never tell it, you don't hear about that in these sanctuary cities. They're just a sanctuary for criminals, and they should, in my opinion, they should be banned. We shouldn't have them because they didn't work out. Sanctuary cities supposed to be heart plucking, heartstring plucking. But the thing is that they just become overrun with criminals. That's all they've really done. So, that isn't helping us. Isn't helping anybody really, except fraud. So yeah, there's going to be more fraud found. It goes deep, real deep. Okay, we're going to have more fraud. On a practical note, for myself, here's something you got to be careful of. Bill Gates butter, basically. Now they got a company that Bill Gates has invested in, of course. What menace to society he is. War criminal. I swear, he's got a war on humanity. Billy Bob Gates, he's got invested in a product that's basically chemical butter. And it's going to get fast-tracked and snuck into all kinds of foods, into pastries and bread and cake and everywhere that you see butter. And at restaurants, it's like, don't even consider. Not me. I'm not even considering eating anything made with butter at any restaurant now. They don't have to label this stuff. Fake butter. I'm like, chemical butter. And I have to warn you, I have found this like all over the place. When you see something that says bioengineered, totally made in a lab, there's GMO, that's bad enough, but you see bioengineered, that's Frankenstein stuff right there. That's Frankenfood, 100% right there. Right. Because they're allowed to call it butter. So, you know what? I actually found an old can of Campbell's soup. And where do we find it? In the strangest places. Bioengineered. In soup. Cream of mushroom. What? Cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. In cake mixes. Cookies, crackers, bread. You better read careful. You better read really carefully when you buy something. Best to get whole food. Because we don't know what horrors this is going to unleash on our metabolism, on our stomachs. I mean, already with the GMOs and the Roundup, there's been a rise in colon cancer. It's nasty. Yeah, they'll put it in the fine print. Yeah, auto F-up is a gremlin. It'll F up everything you try to type, I know. It really does it to me a lot. So you got to be careful of that, guys. I'm warning you. It's everywhere now. And it's going to be in your restaurant food. And it's going to be in your, it's going to be in your fast food. Fast food is now a thing of the past for me. Goodbye. Unless I know for a fact that they're not using it. You know, it's like, no, that's a nope for me. So, there's only one option for us, folks. Boycott it. Boycott it. We can call people up. We can call up our representatives and say we don't want this shit. There's a lot of money invested. But we need to boycott. Hard boycott. And most people ain't going to do that. But we got to. And not just to send a message, but just to keep ourselves healthy. Like I said, we don't know what this is going to do to us yet. Has it ever done anything good? Has any of this shit ever been good for humanity? Never. They always say, to feed humanity better. It never is. Never, never. It never does. Every time they give us something like that, it's bad. Okay? We have never had... name one thing. Please, name one thing. It would give me a shred of hope. That, in here, new and improved, the newest thing. From drugs to food to whatever. No, we cannot trust it. Yeah, plastic sludge food. Yum, yum. And this is why they're killing off all the meat animals that they can. Is because they want us to eat that and accept that crap. We can't do it. We must demand that our food be food. Demand it. Hi, Michael Miller. Grandma, ain't you Grandma? No, sir. I ain't anybody's grandma. Yep. Old Klaus Schnob, Klaus the Knob, wants us to eat the bugs. You're right, Lou. He just wants us to eat the bugs, but we're not eating the bugs. So they say instead, eat the chemicals. You will eat the chemicals and you will like it. How old are you? That's a question. Do you belong here? Are you old enough to be up this late? Anyway, yeah, we got stuff like that coming up. There's going to be more of that. They're going to find more ways to toxify us. I have been working on a new routine. I have heard, here's another one. Lies they told us, right? Here's another lie that I have found. I've done some research. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should eat it when you first get up, and you should be eating cereal because the cereal companies were sponsoring that. Guess what? It's really better if you're trying to lose weight not to eat for at least an hour and a half when you first get up. Which is what I used to do. I never was hungry until at least noon. And so I wouldn't eat. I was a lot thinner then. But everybody kind of pokes you and says, you need to eat. You need to eat your breakfast. It was all wrong. Turns out to be all wrong. Mm-hmm. We don't eat the bugs here. We don't eat the bugs. Kitty, darling, could you handle that, please? We don't eat the bugs. What? Do I watch Beavis and Butthead? Fire! 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 No. Never saw it. Yeah, I used to watch that. Up to you. I trust your judgment, Faith. Just keep vigil, and when it gets weird, you know. Yeah, if you're asking for money, yeah, actually, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a long time out. No asking for money. No. We don't do that here. I do. I can. I'm the only one allowed to do that. And if I say you can, if I say one of my friends needs money, they're allowed, but nobody else. I know you didn't, Michael. I didn't say you did. Kevin Bradley, do you believe in ghosts? Absolutely. I'm a shamanic medium. Kind of comes with the territory. Part of my job. Yep. Do you? I probably don't believe in them the way you're thinking, though. There are spirits of our beloved family and friends. There are also hauntings, which can be positive. I mean, they can be neutral or negative. There can also be other things at work besides human spirits. Yeah. So, ghosts are attracted, yeah, to Lou. Me too. I used to be a ghost magnet. I used to be all kinds of weird magnet. Yeah, some things are demonic. Some things are cryptids that most people don't understand. Some things are spiritual problems. Some things are pretty neutral. Like there are some hauntings that are completely neutral. They don't even know you're there. They don't even seem to know you're there. Like, there are some that are just sort of like reruns. They just play over and over, and they do not acknowledge anything outside of their little scene that they reenact. Now, the interesting thing is that we hear that when the dead don't cross over like they're supposed to, and I do a lot of crossing overs. When they don't cross over like they're supposed to, they have a lot of replaying of their death scene. Whatever it was that finally did them in, it replays at odd times, and they have no sense of time. So that's got to be very not fun. Hello, Tata, Tata, or Tata or whatever you are, whatever that is. It's hard to see so small. But are there any foods that keep spirits at bay? There are people who say garlic, but I have not seen it that way. I've not seen that really work. So, but they try to say something like that, and it's like, I've not seen it. Whatever you believe in, whatever spirituality you believe in, and, if you find yourself confronted with it and you're an atheist, well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you use your belief in atheism, I don't know, and say, you're not real. Why, well, it's throwing things at you. But whatever it is you believe in, if you really believe in it, call upon that. Whatever you do, don't be afraid. Fear is what, if it's a negative thing, it's eating your fear. Remember, you're a human, still living in this realm. I'm assuming you're a human, still living in the living realm. This is your realm, and you have a right to be here. So, if it is actually something passed on, their time is gone, and you have the upper hand. They do not. So, now if you believe in Jesus, a lot of people believe in Jesus, and that's their rock, use that. I mean, not by that name. I mean, I know his name couldn't have been Jesus because they didn't have a J back then, but he knows who you mean when you say Jesus. He knows who he is, who people mean. So it doesn't matter. But whatever it is you believe in now, if you believe in something else very, very, very much, it'll work too, because actually you're the catalyst for everything. So if you stand your ground and say, you know what, but if you don't want to have to think about it too much, there are some minerals that would help, that would definitely help you. And here's something I really recommend. This is selenite. I have selenite up all over the place. I've gridded my whole place with selenite. And black tourmaline. This necklace is selenite and black tourmaline. And when I wear it around, the selenite throws a lot of light. Dark things don't like light, okay? They don't like a lot of light thrown around. And it's also naturally cleanses the black tourmaline, which draws and absorbs things. So this is like a complete system right here. The selenite and the black tourmaline, because black stones have a tendency to absorb. So this is a perfect setup right here. And I didn't pay that much for this. Or if you just happen to have you find some selenite and some black tourmaline, carry it around in your pocket. But yeah, grid your home with it. But before you finish gridding your home, you need to do a clear out of your place. You need to clean your place. And you do that by smudging, which there are plenty of instructions about how to smudge a place and bless your place. So, the room feels heavy. Yeah, that's typical. Why do I know so much? It's my job. It's been my job for years. I'm a shamanic medium. It's my job to know these things. For decades, I've been doing this. Things do not attack me anymore. Things do not come out of the woodwork at me anymore. They just know better. They are not going to get anywhere with me, except gone, and maybe permanently gone. A lot of things permanently gone. But yeah, my house is gridded. I don't hardly have anything sneak in here unless it's on a person. A lot of people are carrying stuff around with them, though. You got to watch out for that. Some people are dragging along a tag-along, an attachment. That you gotta think about. If you're around a certain person, it doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. Not at all. I had one for a while. And that was hard to get rid of. But I did get rid of it. But some of them are pretty hard to get rid of. Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. It can be. And the question was, is sleep paralysis a spiritual attack? Sometimes it is. But sometimes it's just your body doing what your body does. Because what happens is when you go to sleep, your body shuts down your ability to move very much, or does its best to do that, so you don't hurt yourself while you're sleeping. Because if you're running in your sleep and you're running in your bed, you're going to hurt yourself. So your body damps down all of those movements, and you end up with, when you wake up and your body hasn't turned it all back on, you're paralyzed. You're temporarily unable to move. That's what it usually is. But then there's something that goes on with your psyche that can also make that hag or sleep paralysis demon. Sometimes they are an entity. Either way, if you're confronted with something like that, like I said, whatever your higher power is, call on them. Plus, don't allow them to intimidate you. You are the higher power there than anything like that. Mm-hmm. Yes, I've heard of that too. And a lot of times when they're after children, it's because children can see them and they're not that judgmental. Some of them are not harmful and some of them are. I really think we don't give children enough credit. We think that they're talking about invisible friends and that it's nothing. I think sometimes it's very much something. Matter of fact, I know it is. When I was a kid, I know that some of my quote-unquote invisible friends were spirits, really. So, I'm pretty sure it's like that with a lot of children. But, there are also some good things like that. It's not all bad. It's not all anything. It's a mixed bag like everything. And you've got to be really careful. You've got to be discerning. And of course, when you're a kid, you're not looking at it that way. So we need to teach our children how to handle this stuff, actually. Because it starts quite early sometimes. I had I had stuff going on when I was little, and our house was haunted when I was growing up. The house I grew up in was haunted. Part of the reason I'm probably a shamanic. I'm not the traditional shamaness, whatever. But I'm shamanic. The way that I proceed with things is shamanic. Um, let's see. Yeah, traumatized people, children particularly. It basically messes with the natural protection, spiritual protection, with the aura and with the energy of the aura, and then things can get in. Which is why people who are very, very corrupt and nasty terrify and do terrible things to terrify people and put them in pain, to make to make you more permeable to these things, is what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. But somehow you've got to keep yourself from, freaking out and going, oh my God, it's an evil thing, it's going to, you don't have to put up with that. Yeah, it's true. Adults in trauma too. Any human who gets their energy lowered by things can get an attachment real easy. And most of the people who do, well, as a matter of fact, I keep hearing about this. A lot of people who have done shows where they're out looking for ghosts and stuff, they end up with an attachment, because half of them don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Half of them probably don't even believe in what they're even doing. They're doing things for theatrics. This stuff is real. I wouldn't either if I were you. I totally believe you, so you're telling me that there was a demon at a house and you're not going back. I wouldn't go back either. Well, these days if somebody was in danger, I would and help them get rid of it, but that's a good decision. Yeah. It really hurts me to see the ghost hunters go, come on out, we want to help you, or some stupid shit like that. Then they just leave it. It's so heartless. Some of these beings are in a very bad situation. And the ones that I've crossed over, some of them were so, they didn't really know what was going on with them. Because we aren't taught. We aren't trained. It isn't one of the things that we're taught. Sadly. Yeah, a lot of them are wannabes. Yeah. Well, the stupid ones sure find out eventually, don't they? My thing is just, these always want to work their way off of my head. Anyway, slide down my hair and try to come off. But anyway, Um, yeah, kind of thins them out after a while, huh? Yeah, the ones who are more experienced are a lot more careful. They're a lot more careful. So, yeah, you see somebody just galloping in and acting a fool, well, you're probably going to hear about it later at some point. Any themes or currents we can use to our advantage. You mean on the spirit front? Any good news on the spirit front? Any themes or currents we can use to our advantage? Yes. You do not have to let this interfere. If you're looking to ascend, keep yourself in your lane. Don't get involved with the crazy stuff. Because we are, yes, on the ascension trail. A lot of us. Whether you know it or not. Some people don't even know they are. But the energy is ramping up. And we are going to get a lot of boosts. And if you can keep your energy, once again, it's all about frequency and vibration. Whatever you need to do to keep your vibration and your energy high, your frequency high, which is, and I will say, be careful what you watch, be careful what you listen to. There are some types of entertainment that can make you sick and make you open, more open. Music, there's music that'll do it too. Not everything that everybody thinks is devil music is devil music. However, there are frequencies that are better for you than others. I would say one of the best things, the frequency videos now, they're getting very much more aware. They're getting very good. I have actually, in our community tab, I've put some that I like, but some of them, when they say get rid of pain, they do. They work. You're in pain and it's going to help you heal your pain. Yeah, some of them really do. I've It's amazing. Here's another thing too. Part of our problem in this society is glutamate. Like I've said in one of my shows, glutamate and GABA. How is that a spiritual thing? It's a physical thing. It makes you stressed out, nervous. It can even make you depressed. It puts your body in a very uncomfortable state. GABA calms all that down. You need to be in your parasympathetic nervous system state most of the time. That is the natural state. Sympathetic is the fight or flight. Sympathetic is action. You were not built to be in action all the time. This is why monosodium glutamate is really dangerous, is because it can throw the balance off. A lot of times when you eat a balanced diet and balanced food, you don't have that problem. When you get enough rest, you don't have that problem. Most people don't do that though. Most people throw their balance off in 90 different ways, and it makes them more susceptible to things. You want balance in your body. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't align yourself with the nasty stuff. Okay, I used to love scary shows. I'm not much for them anymore. Although, for me, when I look at them, I look at the special effects. So I look at them different. They're not as big of an effect on me. But still, you are kind of beating yourself up. You're testing yourself. So I would not say, for instance, there was this thing that we, as kids, young people used to do this, and I'm sure they still do. They'd get stoned or drunk or something and watch something really weird and scary, and that it would get into your head and scare you. Very bad. Problem is, for instance, marijuana makes you more susceptible. Makes you more, not in the typical way, it makes you more malleable. That the idea gets deeper into your psyche, easier. Um, and that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're doing something good. Like if you're playing frequency music or something to heal yourself, that can be a very good thing. But of course, you have to do this appropriately. I'm going to say appropriately. But so it's not, this, all of this stuff is bad or good depending on how you wield it. It's just a tool. Everything's a tool. So if you're listening to frequency music that's really helpful, it might actually help it get through, penetrate. But yeah, that's one of the side effects. So right, yeah. You know what? Then you're just right. Racer or wrecker, you're right not to go back there. I mean, I wouldn't either. Yeah. And there are videos, frequency videos, that will help you with that. Go into YouTube and type in things like spell breaker frequency. Dr. Virtual 7 has stuff like that. Altoona is another one. Then there's all sorts of other ones that have things like healing you emotionally, things like protection from evil. They have frequencies for everything now. And you find one that works for you and you play that in the background or when you're sleeping, and then don't worry about it. It's so helpful for me. I can be playing these things in the background, not even thinking about it, and it's helping me. Yeah, yeah, that's good, Faith. Yeah. You are responsible for your state of mind, and you have to keep vigilant on it. If you're having repeated attempts at intrusion, you're going to have to be vigilant for a while, and you're going to have your tools ready. Because I know I've had things like that. You're going to have your tools ready, and then you're going to have to use them. Okay? You like my little... I don't know. He's so cute. He's a little octopus. I like octopuses. I think they're so cute. You know what? I don't blame you. And once again, you can take control of that situation. You can get above it. Let me tell you something that you don't get told. If you work on raising your frequency, your own frequency, not only do you help the whole world, but you can actually get above all of that negative stuff to where it can't even see you. You become invisible. You can vibrate right out of its spectrum. Everything is in like a spectrum of or a frequency band. You can vibrate yourself right out of that band, so to where these things cannot even find you, can't even see you. And I'm largely there right now. A lot of things can't even tell, you know. Things don't come at me anymore. Hardly ever. Very, 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 very rare. Yeah, and call on your allies. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, we don't have to be prey for anything like that. Never. But if you're one of those people that attracts stuff, absolutely, you want to turn that around, you can absolutely turn it around. Believe me, I had a lot of things stacked against me. A lot. But I did manage to turn it around. You can absolutely win that game. And there are always spiritual allies waiting to help you, but you must call on them. Call on your angels. Everybody's got them, whether they know it or even believe it or not. Everybody has that available. Call on your higher power. Call on your angels. Know that within yourself you are a human and you are more powerful. And you are alive, and therefore this is your realm and you are more powerful. Bear that in mind. Always bear that in mind. Never forget that. Oh, Michael Miller, you're so... That's not what I said. Yeah. Michael, try to stay civil and learn something. If you're not here to learn anything or add anything positive, why the heck are you here? I don't need everybody. There are other places to shop, for enlightenment. I sure don't care. So try to stay civil, will you? Faith's got an itchy trigger finger now. See what you did? Yeah, this is not a place where we provoke each other. Well, you know what? I have many videos where I talk about these things, but, in a way, you do have beings around you always that are there to help. You're not alone. None of us is. Hey, how you doing? Gemini Moon, you're awake. What you doing awake, woman? How you doing? It's good to see you. She's keeping early hours these days. So, yeah, we're just talking. We ended up talking about what I see. People seem to need this a lot. How to defend yourself against things that, against spirits and things that are not wholesome. And I'm glad to be able to help. Part of what you're doing here is learning how to take care of this stuff, I think. I think that's part of our journey here, is to realize who we are, really. We are powerful beings. We have a spark of divinity. And I think it's so weird that when I say I'm God and so are you, some people get very offended by that. But the one they call Jesus, whose name was probably more like Yeshua, or it was Isis, there is a healer like him known in places as Isis. ISSUS. Very similar. And since there was no J, I would be very close. So now I've taken to call him Isis. But I guess he's got a different name too, but we'll call him by what we know because he understands. And he is a real being. He really is a real being. He's an ascended master if you can't believe anything else. Definitely an ascended master. And really top tier. Isa. So, yeah. These things must be spoken of. They're not being taught to people. And somebody's got to pass on the info. Somebody's got to pass it on. One of the reasons I'm here is to be able to pass this stuff on to people who need that, so that they can pass it on too to somebody else who needs it. And it's the intent in your mind. They respond to the energy. Like, I'm not afraid. That scares the pants off of some things. It's like, there are some things that are like, holy shit, she's not afraid. It's like, no, why should I be? I got divine light. What do you got? Mm-hmm. So look at my buddies. Look at my entourage, my spiritual entourage. Don't think you're going to get the jump on me. I literally have had so many positive entities at my council that it's like you can almost feel the room filling up. It's like, oh wow, they all came for this one. Every now and then they'll all decide, everybody will pile in. Hey, let's all take part in this. There are many unseen forces that are with you, and they're willing to help you. Just ask. There are some things that can't help you unless you ask, because it's a matter of free will. They have to respect your free will. The good guys will always do it. The negative ones will try and trick you into it. They'll try and trick you. So you got to be careful of them. They'll try. Don't be fooled. No, I wouldn't, Faith, because just to see what? I don't want to see that. If somebody was in trouble and they needed help, that's one thing. But just for the heck of it? Hell no. No, no, no. Literally, hell no. No to hell. If something's raising some kind of hell, and a lot of it is fueled by people's energy around the area, the energies that people have left. So heck no, I'm not gonna. Why should I clean up that stuff? It's like saying, gee, I'm gonna go to the garbage dump and clean up all the trash for what? For what purpose? How is that gonna, unless we can recycle it all, huh? Yeah, it's why. Why would I? Yeah, absolutely. Why would you want to do that? That's why I think some of these ghost hunters, please, some of the stuff they do, it's embarrassing. Yeah, you know what? I keep saying, do not ask questions of the universe that you do not want to know the answer to. That's just good advice across the board. And one of the things people do is, they'll ask how. And then they'll find, instead of something positive, how can it get any better? They'll ask worse. And it's like, well, the universe will show you worse if you ask. If you must ask, say, how can it get any better? Much safer with that. Don't dare. Don't make any dares to the universe. Show you anything you don't want to see or live through. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Cheat sheets for living in a spiritual, in a place where the spirits are active, which is everywhere. Some places are even more active than others. Yeah, like and subscribe. I even have a Cash App link in my description if you're interested in helping me fund this kind of information. But yeah, I'm glad to help because then the world just gets better. Less terrified, stressed out, frightened, people, the better we can all rest, right? Thank you, F. Kitty. Yeah, if you have it in you to donate, that would be great. If not, it's okay. I had to give up StreamYard though because they're just too doggone expensive right now. They've really gone over the top. So I've lost all my StreamYard stuff. That was somebody being stupid, okay? Don't worry about it. It is not a special brand of magic. Yeah, that was just somebody being an idiot. Yeah, now if you do happen to be gay and you're doing magic, but the magic isn't gay, you are. I mean, come on. That's I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. So so silly. Yeah, he was just a troll. He's just a troll with his butt full of his head. Okay. Oh, people do stupid things online. They just act out. No, if they were in person, they wouldn't act like that. But it's not in person, so they don't care. They figure they're fine. Yeah, exactly, Faith. Stoking your own inner light. You are helping the whole world by stoking your own inner light. Exactly. You are helping the entire world by lighting up your little patch of it. And on that, I've been here a while. I think I'm going to start pulling it down. Almost 12. And I don't aim to be up forever. I got some things I must do tomorrow. So I'm glad I could help somebody. I'm glad we could help somebody. Good to meet you. Hope you come back. Hope you like and subscribe at the very least. And come back and visit. And if you need help again, we'll help you again. Okay? And behalf of me and my little Lyran assistant here, my co-host, Cowboy, who's still sound asleep. Truth is where you find it. Hope you always find some here. And remember, you're divine. Good night. See you again soon. Oh, and I'm working on a Scary Karen. Scary Karen is a character. She's a special guest, but she's a character. We'll have Karen on again. Don't worry.